Hi everyone, welcome to Get Ready with me, Louise. I'm so excited today because I'll be honest. Well, first we're gonna overlook the hair. That's number one. Number two, um, lately it's not that I haven't enjoyed the looks or playing with different palettes, but it's been kind of like repetitive. Like nothing's felt like extraordinary, right? Or different or unique or anything like that. I have cat hair everywhere. My daughter decided to brush my cat while the fan is facing me and hair just all over my face. So I've been sitting here picking off hair, cat hair, seriously, with a pair of tweezers. And I say this as in we're not talking one or two or three or four or five or six. We're talking like a lot. I felt like I was becoming a cat. Okay? Like, it was crazy how that just happened. But today we're still in the letter L and we're going to be doing Laura Mercier. And when I thought of that brand, the first thing that came to mind is that setting powder. I'm not a fan, but the setting powder. Then the second thing that came to mind was the caviar sticks or caviar line, whatever you want to talk about, that part of it, because there's quite a few things. And then, of course, now you see their foundation and their concealer kind of having a moment. But in all honesty, it's not a brand that really sticks out to me, except for their eyeshadow sticks. Now, I have quite a few things from them. So let's go ahead and start with what's on my face. And that is, I am wearing the Lancome. That's my new foundation, I think. The Karen Glow, is that what it's called? Skin and Clear Karen Glow? Karen Glow. Y'all look at that. I am almost done this. This is almost like my reboot foundation by Makeup Forever, which is my favorite, which they don't make no more. But this they still make, and they have this in my shade at Sephora, so I think I'm going to pick up another bottle of this because it's really nice in the summer months. It really, really is. I don't know how it'd be in the winter, but in the summer, I have found it, like, the heat-wise, it wears real well. For concealer, I am wearing my... Y'all, I don't know what I used for concealer today. Yeah, I do. That's why I was like, I don't know what I used because it's not sitting here. I used a sample. The Luminous Silk Glow Concealer in 5.5 sample. I used it. I don't think I'll buy a full size of it. It's not bad. It's not. It's just, I think it's a little too luminous. If that, you know what I mean? Like, it's a little bit too glowy, if that makes sense. I mean, it has to make sense. So, there you go. It kind of reminds me of the Charlotte. This one here. The Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer. Radiant. That's what it is. And glowy, same thing. Which I like them, but I don't, not right now. I don't think right now is the time for them. You know what I mean? For bronzer, I set the T-zone with Hourglass Veil setting powder. The rest of my face with my Bare Mineral Pro, or Bare Minerals Bare Pro. And then for bronzer, I'm wearing Bronze Dawn by Pat McGrath. For highlighter, I'm wearing Natasha Denona 02 Medium. And then for blush. Now, here we're going to get into Laura Mercier. Alright. So, I didn't know about the blushes really until a couple years ago at a Christmas thing. They had a palette and a blush palette like combined. And the blushes that are in this particular palette are actually blushes you can purchase single, right? It's out of their the Blush Color Infusion series they have. And I have peach, rose, and grapefruit in this particular palette. And I looked on Sephora, and rose and peach you can purchase. Now, I didn't see grapefruit on there, but you may be able to get it from their website. So, peach, rose, and grapefruit. And I will say, I'm wearing rose today, which is probably my go-to color, to be fair. And I'm curious on this one. I'm going to use this peach just to see if it is a peach. But I love this formula. It is so easy to use. It builds, it blends, it doesn't pick up anything. It just like goes into your skin. It is a really, really nice formula. And of course, I do particularly like the embossing on this. Now, that's not what it is on the, singles or anything. But in this particular palette, I am so glad I got this. Now, I don't know if every year they come out with something like this, but if they do, highly suggest checking this out. The eyeshadow palette was okay too, but if I had to choose one or the other, I would say go for this here, because you get a peach, a rose, a pink, but more neutral. Like, I feel this is more neutral. You got a peach, a neutral, and then more of the grapefruit, which is more like a pink. You know what I mean? So you kind of like spring, summer, fall, and winter in a palette, even, because I feel like the rose is more fall and winter personally, but to each their own. Then for lips, I am wearing, okay, they have these things. This is the Velour Extreme matte lipstick, and it's in a pencil. I'm trying to think of how I'm going to talk about this. So this is what it looks like. I have this one here in Fresh. I have a bright red one, which I just give to my daughter because we all know I'm not going to wear that. And then I have another one. Where did I put you? I believe it's called Jolie. Hold on. I had to pull them all out. I put everything in here. I'm pretty sure the name of it is Jolie, but give me a second to check. Or I could have just lost it. To be fair, I could have just put it anywhere, and that's that, because that's what I do, in a way. Oh, nope, there it is. Jolie. Now, I do use Jolie usually more than I use this one, but I think it's because it's bigger, so I just grab for it better. But it's more of a... I like how they have these top, too, so you can see what you're using, what you're pulling from. So, this one here is... it also has a pencil sharpener at the bottom. But this one is, again, the Extreme Matte Lipstick Jolie. And this is more like a pink, not metallic, but kinda. It's different. It's really cool, though. I like Jolie. Especially for me. It's a lighter pink. But I like this if I'm doing more of like this kind of look, a neutral look. And then the red, I'll never wear. And at the bottom of that is a pencil sharpener. Now, they're eye pencils. These two here came from the Rose Gold line. That came out a couple years ago again. I purchased Wild Roses and Bed of Roses. And I was thinking Wild Roses for inner corner, and then this for just like a one and done type of shade. Did I do that? No. Should I do that? Probably. When it comes to cream shadows, I have found for myself personally that they are more of a... I like to use them, like I use my Sigma and my, like an eyeshadow base, basically. Which Laura Mercier does have one, and it is called Au Naturel. And I used it today to do my lid, to cover my lid. And I like it because it doesn't crease, it doesn't move, you have playtime with it, and it does cover. She has several different in just the matte, things. There's also colors, there's metallics, there's shimmers, there's all sorts of things. So I have quite a few things. And I have used them over the years, I have. But I find I don't gravitate to them because I do like my palettes. I really do. So... but I do think they come in handy, especially for maybe you don't have a palette that is an all-in-one and you don't want to use a highlighter. If you had one of these available, you could easily put that as your inner corner highlight. You know what I mean? And then they also come in handy as far as like your waterline. Like right now, I am wearing one in my waterline, which I gotta actually, let me pull that out so I have it. Where did it go? Might as well pull that one out. Here it is. And I do like it for that. So you'll see, well, I guess I can go ahead and do it. I pulled the shade Amethyst for my lower waterline here. And lower lash line, I'll put it like right on it basically, and then I'll blend it out with a which I know I usually don't start a look like this, but here we are. Because I had it out. But I'll take that and then just like a flat shader brush and sort of like blend it out. And usually I'll take like a whatever color I'm using in a palette, my palette, to help blend that out a little bit. But I like it because on the lower lash line also, it'll last all day. Whatever you put down there, it will last. It just holds that shade. We're going to take this shade right here called, I think it's called Steel. Yeah. And I'm going to blend that out down there with that. And it grips the shade that I'm using also. So Steel comes off a little bit darker even on the lower lash line, but it just stays so beautifully down there. Which I know it's going to look weird right now because I have, you know, the rest of my makeup look isn't on, but... And you might guess the palette I'm using right now too. I would say this is the most popular palette by Laura Mercier. I have 3. And this is the one everybody raved about. And when I first got it, I didn't get it. Okay, I didn't. I won't lie. I didn't even give it the best of reviews, to be fair. Okay? But I was just getting into makeup, okay? So I didn't know much about formulas. I didn't know the difference between formulas. I still don't. But I will say there is a difference. And this palette is really nice. And I'm kind of glad because I've been kind of getting bored. But this gave me something. So for right now, we're going to go into this shade right here. And it's called Buttercream. And I'm just going to set down that, Au Naturel, I believe was the name of that shade that I used. Alright. Now, let's get started on this side look. So the first shade I'm going to go into is this one right here. And it is called Ginger. Oh, this eyeshadow palette is called Eye Art Caviar Colored Inspired Edition. I do not know if this is still available. First off, the packaging of this, it looks like snakeskin and feels, oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It flips up like this and then opens. There's a mirror, but the packaging is just gorgeous. And I hope this is still available, because seriously, you all, it's so nice. So we're going to go into this shade right here, Ginger. And the formula is different. I can't exactly... Well, first off, if you know her shadows, her shadow sticks, the colors are based off of that. In this palette, the powdered shadows are based off of her cream shadow sticks. So cool, first off, let me just say that she did that. Second, the shadows in here, they are special. They are. First, you gotta like the color story. Let's go there. Okay, so it's more cool toned for sure. And it's going to give you more of a basic look. However, this is going to go so beautifully if you do enjoy her color, the eyeshadow sticks. This palette will just go beautiful with that, number 1. Number 2, by itself. Say you don't own any of the sticks. Look at this look. Oh. And there's something to be said about these shadows. They are laying so nice on my skin. Like, where the creases and the crevices are. Like, it's just, when it's done, you can't, my eyes look a little younger. Just a little. in my opinion, it just isn't showing any kind of anything. And no, this color's not very pigmented at all. If anything, for some skin tones, it's probably just going to be, you set your skin. But for me, it is almost like a light, very light contour color to start to map out maybe your eye, if that's what you do. Like this palette here, after looking at, because I was going to do a different palette, I really was. But this palette here really did, when I was like, let me try it, let me do it, let me give it another whirl, right? We're going to go into this shade at the end, this brown, which I believe its name is Ganache. There's just something to be said about this palette. It can sculpt your eye in a way for either everyday makeup, natural makeup, like whatever kind of makeup look you're going for, glam, daytime, night, it doesn't matter. You can get it all out of this particular palette. You can get several different looks out of this particular palette. Like you can get it all if you wanted to. It's really whatever's up to you is what you're going to get, right? And like I said, when I first got this palette, it wasn't my favorite by no means. But the more and more I had to go back, the more and more I have played with it, the more and more I have really fallen in love with it. And sometimes, just sometimes, I don't get the time to do that, So, and that sucks for me, because I may get rid of a palette that, I should have maybe worked a little bit more with, so that I could see if I liked it. Or sometimes I just know. And with these, I didn't just know, because I knew there was something was just off. But what I didn't know was off was the fact that I just needed to get to know eyeshadows more, get to know formulas. Now, is this formula better than, say, Pat McGrath, Natasha Denona? No. I'm going to say that. No. But Pat McGrath is in a league of her own with her price point, so I'm not even going to go there. Natasha Denona, she's kind of a league of her own in formulas and perfecting and working and like the whole 9 yards. You know what I mean? Like it's just a whole nother level in a way. And then, but I would say, if I lost this palette and I could still get it, I would repurchase this palette. That says a lot, because I've not said that about quite a few different things. And the reason being is because this really does kind of give me everything I need in a palette. We're going to go into Steel very easily, very elegantly. There's no fuss, there's no muss, there's nothing. And again, I do need to play with these more, but I feel within my heart that this particular palette would really go good with her eyeshadow sticks. Like this was made for that, you know what I mean? And I really would like to try it like that. Obviously I have the stuff so I can do it, making the time to do it, and I would have to see. But I'd also have to see if this is still available, because there'd be no point in me doing that if you can't get it anymore, number one. Or number two, if nobody's interested in the eyeshadow sticks. But I do, especially if you're in a hurry, that's when eyeshadow sticks come in handy. Now, I still won't lie to y'all. I still don't grab for those. I generally grab for, like, well, Charlotte Tilbury, I'm not gonna lie. I'll grab for that, those little pots. The oyster pearl or the rose gold one. Why? I don't know. But I do. So there's that there too. But it could just be because that's what I'm familiar with. And I haven't really experimented with this. So when I go to do something quick, I have to know it's going to work. Number one. But these shadows are so beautiful. I mean, I didn't know. I really didn't. And it's funny because I probably have had this palette for years. Years now. And didn't appreciate it for what it was, to be fair. Am I glad that I finally realized it? Yeah. I'm glad I finally realized it now. And I hope it's not too late, because I hope that, if you're my age or older, like, this palette might be something you really do want to look into. Because the way it lays and makes your eyes look younger. Look, I'm all about that. I'm not going to lie, okay? I'm all about looking younger. And not because I'm not comfortable with my own skin or anything. I'm not, but we'll pretend. But no, really, like, I don't, like, if somebody said, oh, you look 44, great, I'm 44, but I don't necessarily want to look older than what my age is at the time. You know what I mean? Looking my age, fine. And a lot of times you can guess people's ages, not necessarily from the way they look, but the way they dress, the way they talk, stuff like that even. I'm going to use the shade Amethyst right here, which is the same shade that I used for the crayon, okay? And they match up beautifully. I mean, beautifully matched. They really did a good job at matching these shades up. There's no fallout. I didn't spray the brush. I didn't do anything. This is such a pretty shade too. It's not quite the shade I thought it was going to be though, because when I think of amethyst, I think of purple. And this is more like a taupe in a way. I mean, it might have a little bit of a purple undertone, but very slight. Very, very slight. But it's not an amethyst that, I would necessarily think of. But it is beautiful. And I would think this is my favorite palette from this brand, to be fair. And again, if this is available, I highly suggest getting it. We're going to go into this shade right here. I think it's Rose Gold is the name of it. I hope I'm reading the back of this correctly. But like I've said before, I don't know, to be fair, if I read these right. I believe a couple years ago this was still available. When I purchased something, I seen it on their website. And this should really be a staple, to be fair. This deserves to be a staple in this line, because it's just a beautiful palette. That's all I can really say. It's just a beautiful palette. Alright, for mascara now, I have the Laura Mercier, you guessed it, Caviar Volume Mascara. It's okay. Like the Lancome, it's okay. Which, by the way, the Lancome, I think I said in the video that it didn't transfer? Oh, it transferred. Now, was I kind of putting it to the test? Yeah. I was outside playing volleyball, badminton, horseshoes, and it was hot. So I really did like sweat everything. So, but it did transfer. Just so you know, I look like a raccoon by the end of the day. So I guess that would be why that's not one of my favorite mascaras. Because again, I can't do transfer. Does this one transfer? I don't know. I'll let you know tomorrow. But initial go on, it's not bad. The brush is kind of weird. It's like really big and I don't know. It's like different sizes in different areas. I don't know. It is weird. I don't recall a brush like this other than this brand. So that's that. I guess it does give you volume. It is also giving me separation for the most part. Maybe not so much length. But again, is it better than Lash Clash or Gucci? No. Nope. But it is pretty. I hope you can see it. There we go. Now you should be able to see it pretty good. This brush is just weird. That's the most part. Okay. And then for the lower lashes, Lancome Deaf and Seals. As I always do. Alright. And then that is the final look using, I'm going to throw that mascara away. I think it's pretty much done anyway, to be fair. And then let me clean up. Right there. Okay. Alright, and then that's it, y'all. I think I'm gonna have to say, for real, I highly suggest you take a look at this palette. If you can get this. And I've not said much about the palettes that I've reviewed. You know what I mean? Like, I've said if they were good, bad, if I understand now why I don't play with them, you know, or they're nothing unusual or new or anything. The formula, even, there's something special about this formula, even. I'm not going to lie. And I can't put my finger on it, probably because I'm not a makeup artist, to be fair. I'm just loving makeup, right? I think there is something special about this particular palette, especially if you are a cream shadow type of girl or boy. But if you're a cream shadow makeup wearer, I feel like, and you like the Mercier caviar sticks, I feel like this could come in handy. I just do. But with that aside, the look I created today, there's just something about the way it is laying on my eyes, how easy it was to do, no thought process, and it looks gorgeous. It really does. So, for this brand, I'm going to suggest this palette and the blushes. Now, are the blushes revolutionary? I don't know. I really like the colors of these, and I think that's unique. But I keep sitting here thinking, okay, Pat McGrath is one of your favorite blushes. You know this. Does it rival Pat McGrath? Not with formula. Color, maybe. But what would be my next pick for a blush? Well, then I'm looking at Hourglass and Dior, but that's a different kind of blush. That's more soft and more like sheer, almost a sheer wash. So I would put this right at number 2, 3. It'd be in my top 5 favorites. So I would say if you're in store, or if you happen to see a set where you get more than one, I kind of think you might want to check it out, to be fair. But if this palette's available, I'm going to say get it immediately. Just my opinion. Because I'm going to tell you, if I lost everything, I'm buying that palette again. And with me thinking that way, I'm like, maybe this palette needs to sit in my Natasha Denona drawers, you know? Because it's just one palette. And so far, I have not felt like that using any other palette. I know I will feel like that when it comes to that Surratt palette I have. Because when I used it, I was like, wow. Making my eyes look younger. So I know I'll feel that way about that. Wasn't expecting it with this. So I believe I'm going to keep this in my Natasha Denona drawer. And the blushes, I'm going to keep this out too because I want to try the peach. I want to see if it is peach. If it is, I'm going to keep it out and possibly get rid of my benefit blushes. Okay, so there's my thoughts on the brand. The lipstick, it's a matte lipstick. It is a comfortable one, I'll give it that. I did have... Okay, y'all, I bought this. Look how bad this is. This is gross, I know. It's the Give Sparks. It burns. Okay, let's get that straight. It burns. I'm not going to pretend any otherwise. It burns your lips. But I love it. And I love it so much. Look at this. Can we see my lipstick here? Now, it is, when you get it, it's at a slant anyway. It almost makes you keep going like that. So you use it faster. But can we see how much I've used? I already bought a new one. So I'm using this now to try to get the end down so that I can like use it all correctly in a way if possible. But I had this one. It's not gonna work. Alright, let's go like this. To sort of like there we go, yeah. little bit of that. Okay. To get moisture. There we go. Now drop it in. I don't want to waste any of this because it is expensive, to be fair. Now, I do like this, and I like the feeling of a burn, I'm not gonna lie. I've not seen anything that intense in a long time. Alright, let me get a paper towel now. In a long time. However, get that off my lip. Or my tongue. However, I would say the burn and the color of this, the whole 9 yards, reminds me of this. So if you'd rather have like a doe foot and put it on, buy the Too Faced lip injection balm. I think it just comes in one color, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not seeing a color on this. This one is in Spark the Fire. Oh no, Love, L-U-V. That's what this one's in. The color. And I really do like it. It plumps. Anyway, what I was saying was I put this on while I was doing my makeup. And then right before I was filming, I then lined my lips with the shade Fresh. I lined it and then went in and just colored in the lip. And my lips were already pre-moisturized from that balm. So it didn't feel very drying. And these do last a long time too. So I do like those, but I feel like a matte lipstick and that same thing. And I know this video is forever long, and I apologize, but I really want to be thorough when I'm telling you when I do like something, because I want you to know why I like it, because I don't suggest you go buy stuff all the time. I just don't, because money is tight, you know. And, you know, you may already have this palette in your collection and forgot about it. Pull it back out. Holy cow. Pull it back out. Try it again. Let me know, please. Because this kind of has blown my mind on how good it is. It really has. But I'm going to let you go so I can sit with this look. Because I like to do that too sometimes. Because, like, am I overreacting? Am I over-exaggerating? Am I giving it too much credit? Is it the brushes? Is it, you know, what, you know, I go like that all the time. So, but yeah, I don't think I'm going to like the mascara. I think the mascara is going to transfer, to be fair. FYI. Just so you know on that one. But, yeah, I'll let you go. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell, hit all that way you're notified when I upload. I upload every day but Sunday unless there's a new launch. And I will see you in the next one. Until then, stay safe and stay healthy. Bye.